sé que molti mesi stanno sacando col cieco, tutti di per l'impegno praticamente fare olyan csavar, ugye megmutatta.
Mogu da i dolar, ćeš dolar?
Pa gde god ti...
How's it going? It's a pleasure to be here. It's important in these difficult times that we can meet in this group for the fifth time now, and I think it's really important to stand together as Europe and to find solutions, common solutions on our continent. So thank you very much.
If you're worried about Donald Trump?
No, I'm not worried. We have to work with the leaders in the world that are elected by the people, so I'm not worried, but we're looking forward to work together.
What do you think about the instability in Germany at the moment? Does this cause trouble also for the European Union?
Well, it does not cause any trouble for the European unity, I believe, but we look forward and hope that Germany is coming back to a stable path very shortly.
Orban just said yesterday that he's recommending a new strategy towards Ukraine because he thinks Europe can't deliver all these arms. Do you think he's right?
Well, from my point of view, Ukraine has to win, that's for sure, and the day today is a good opportunity to discuss strategies for the way ahead.
Can Europe replace any support that the US pulls out from?
Pardon?
Can Europe replace any support that the US might pull out from?
Well, we don't know what the US is doing in the next month at the moment, and we can't replace everything. So we need a strong NATO, we need strong allies. So therefore, we really have to talk, and this is the place to talk. Thank you. Bye.
Oh no.
Die Wahlen in den USA haben potenziell große Konsequenzen Geopolitik auf Europa, auf Krieg in der Ukraine. Von dieser neuen Welt, die sich jetzt hier abzeichnet, muss sich die Schweiz gut beraten, sich näher an Europa anzunähern.
Ja, die Schweiz will ja den bilateralen Weg mit der EU stabilisieren und noch vertiefen. Da arbeiten wir schon länger daran. Und es ist klar, dass Europa sich insgesamt stärken muss, so oder so.
Was wird Ihre Botschaft sein an die Kommissionspräsidentin, wo Sie heute auftreten?
Ja, meine Botschaft wird die sein, dass wir auf gutem Weg sind in den Verhandlungen. Die Chefunterhändler haben gut gearbeitet, dass wir jetzt auf der Zielgeraden sind und die 2, 3 offenen Fragen noch klären wollen.
Is Europe's strength affected by the German government news overnight? Is Europe's strength and security hit by what's happened in Germany overnight? What do you think?
We have to see what they are doing now. I think there will be new elections. It depends when they will be. I think we have to wait their discussions.
Aber was bedeutet die Lage, die instabile Lage in Deutschland für die Europäische Union?
Deutschland ist ein wichtiger Partner in der Union. Ich gehe davon aus, dass Deutschland die Probleme so rasch wie möglich in den Griff bekommen will.
Werden Sie konkrete Punkte mit Frau von der Leyen besprechen und verhandeln?
Verhandeln werden wir hier sicher nicht, das machen die Chefunterhändler, aber wir werden uns über den Stand der Dinge austauschen. Merci.
Hello. Today will be two topics on the agenda. The first one is the Ukraine, because the war in Ukraine has Russian aggression has continued almost 1,000 days on full scale, and on that issue Europe should do everything to help Ukraine implement a victory plan and continue its steadfast support. And the second topic for me today will be economic security. Europe should be even more resilient during different crises, and also on energy matters, because we're still spending more than 30 billion euros on Russian energy. That is not sensible, that is not wise. If you want to have the Russian war chest empty, you should not spend on their own energy. And also the second topic on economic security is the connectivity, different regions and also from Europe to different regions and having those partnerships. So this will be today. Thank you.
Is Europe's strength weakened by what's happening to the German government? Thank you.
Hyvää huomenta.
Trumpin valinta aiheuttaa huolia siihen, että sitoutuuko Ukrainan tukemiseen, Euroopan puolustamiseen, niin miten valmis Eurooppa on nyt ottamaan näistä asioista vastuuta? Saksassakin hallitus kaatuu.
No, mielestäni me ollaan näissä keskusteluissa aikaisemmin Eurooppa-neuvoston puitteissa, niin me ollaan valmistauduttu tähän. Jokainen on oikeastaan tiennyt sen, että meidän täytyy joka tapauksessa Euroopan unionina kantaa isompi vastuu Ukrainan tukemisesta ja oman puolustuksen hoitamisesta. Ja nyt se vaan realisoituu ja meidän on toimittava nyt. Se mikä on mahdollisuus on se, että meillä on kaikki keskeiset työkalut pöydällä tällä hetkellä. Me rakennetaan uutta komissio-ohjelmaa ja rahoituskehystä. Eli meillä on työvälineet olemassa. Nyt tämä tilanne pitää käyttää, mutta yksi asia on selvä ja se on se, että tämän eurooppalaisen puolustuksen tai meidän oman puolustuksemme ja sen vahvuuden eteen pitää tehdä enemmän ja nopeasti.
Sanoitte eilen, että Yhdysvalloissa aiottua kauppasota on kuitenkin niin, että komissio on aika pitkälle valmistellut vastauksia, mikäli näitä puolustureja alkaa nousta, niin vastustaako Suomi nyt siis näitä komission valmistelevia toimenpiteitä, jos tähän mennään?
Mä sanoin yleisellä tasolla, että minusta meidän pitää pyrkiä välttämään kaikin keinoin kauppasota. Ja yleisellä tasolla periaatteena kauppasotaan tai protektionismiin ei pitäisi vastata protektionismilla, mutta kuten eilenkin sanoin, ja totta kai meidän täytyy katsoa, mitä Yhdysvallat tekee, ja meidän on pakko reagoida jollain tavalla, ja se, mihin komissio on varautunut, niin katsotaan sitten ne rauhassa. Järkeviä vastauksia pitää tietenkin tehdä, mutta yleisellä tasolla me pidän erittäin huolestuttavana sitä, että jos Eurooppa ja Yhdysvallat ajautuu kauppasotaan, sitä ei pitäisi päästää syntymään, ja pyritään nyt vaikuttamaan Yhdysvaltoihin Trumpin tulevaan politiikkaan myöskin niin, että hän ymmärtäisi siihen liittyvät riskit. No, mä en halus kauheasti sotkeutua Saksan sisäpolitiikkaan. Tietenkin positiivinen puoli on taas siis se, että jos vaalit on heti alkuvuodesta, niin kevään aikana, kun me tullaan tekemään isoja päätöksiä nimenomaan komissio-ohjelman ja jo rahoituskehyksenkin linjausti sisämarkkinoiden, toivottavasti myöskin puolustuksen osalta, niin että Saksassa olisi silloin jo toimintakykyinen hallitus. Eli kyllä tässä on mahdollisuudet, että asiat menee ihan hyvän suuntaan. On tiedossa se, että Saksan nykyisellä hallituksella on ollut sisäisiä vaikeuksia, niin ehkä tilanteen selkeytyminen nopeammalla aikataululla on hyvä. vahvaa yhtenäisyyttä, Euroopan unionin maat, Euroopan maat rintarinnan, vahva yhtenäisyys suhteessa Yhdysvaltoihin, vahva tahto jatkaa Ukrainan tukemista, vahva tahto jatkaa Venäjän pakotteita ja myöskin vahva viesti siitä, että me hoidamme oman osamme. I think that we have to give a clear message here today to the United States and the new administration that we support Ukraine as long and as much as needed. The message have to be clear and strong. And the second one is that it's clear that Europe have to do more for its own defense, to strengthen it and own security. This is important message to Trump.
How strong is Europe with a weak in Germany?
Sorry?
How strong is Europe with Germany?
I think that it's very important that they will have how it looks like the elections quite soon, because we need strong and united German government, and we need strong Germany in the European Union. We are very important issues on the table. New Commission, new program of the Commission, financial framework, and etc. That's why it's important. But one thing, for international media, there has been discussion on Finnish model. Finnish model is, I tell you, that we are member of NATO, we are member of European Union, we are supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression, and this is the model the Ukrainian people are fighting for. Thank you.
country, and we share the same goal, the same purpose. Security. This platform that we all every single thing about the that is trying to access and to make possible decisions. Today, we get the migration, security, and we know that for sure we have to bring the geopolitical growth we work closely with the organization that we want to create tonight and tomorrow, and this is a plan. We are on your side. And you fight for our every week, and on each country, terrible context of this climate change approach. And then we Spain, but not only Spain, each country will see that we need to act together. We need to bring decisions together. We can take place like that. We will be there, and we know that the place where we more to make sure that we get more ambitious, and that we deliver on our promises. And I will also be able to meet with President Aliyev and we will discuss the bad relationship with Azerbaijan and including the situation.
Is Europe weaker as a result of the instability in Germany?
No, I think that we are always strong when we believe in democratic institutions, and we have 27 member states, all of them with their democratic institutions, and we trust those institutions. And the EU has a clear plan. This is called the strategic agenda. We know what we want to do for the future, for making Europe stronger, more resilient, less dependent, more influential for the benefit of our people. We need to deepen our single market. It will be an important debate that we'll have tomorrow, including the participation of Mario Draghi. We want to develop our defense capabilities, we want to develop our defense readiness, and we want to engage more with the rest of the world, with our allies, with our partners, the United States and some others, but also with countries which we have some differences, but we have to strengthen the global dialogue.
Should it be the return of President Trump?
We are absolutely convinced that the United States and Europe have a lot in common, and we are ready on the EU side to deepen this alliance with the United States based on the idea that we have to act as a respectful and respected partner, based on the idea that we have to defend the international rules-based order, based on the United Nations system, based on the idea that we want more prosperity and more cooperation in that field. And that's why I am absolutely convinced that we have a dialogue with the new administration. You know, when I was prime minister in Belgium, Donald Trump was president of the United States, I had and I have this experience in engaging with the United States, and I'm certain that the European leadership will find the best possible way to engage in a rational way with the United States.
Michel, for Reuters, what did you learn from dealing with President Trump the last time he was in office, and how will you learn from that this time? What will you do differently?
There is an important principle. We want to deepen our ties with the United States. This is very clear because there is a lot in common. But we also want to be more master of our destiny. We want to be more influential. We want to strengthen our economic base, and we want to act in a way where we are a respectful and respected partner. This is the basic principle. And I'm certain that on many topics we will converge. It will be easy. On some topics there could be some different views, and if this is the case, we'll have to discuss, to negotiate, and to find the best possible compromise.
And specifically on Ukraine, do you expect the United States to reduce its support, and will Europe have to, and will it be able to increase it?
First, we have a clear position on the EU side. We want to strengthen Ukraine because we know that strengthening Ukraine is strengthening ourselves. This one first element. We also know that if we would be weak with authoritarian regimes like Russia, when they put at risk the international order, then we send a very dangerous signal of vulnerability to the rest of the world. And my final point is the following. I trust the American society. I'm certain that the American society, they know that this is in their interest, that we have to show our firmness when we engage with authoritarian regimes. Because if the United States would be weak with Russia, what would it mean for China? Thank you.
Chief negotiators, mainly on how we can move on with the implementation of the agreements that have been reached. Over here, as you know, the topics have been set. It's mostly how we can all join as European countries in financing for issues like economic security. And I strongly believe that this new administration will also be in our continent, which is, of course, in the interest of the entire world. politically unstable. I would call it simply a democratic process. Again, Germany has been such a strong pillar of Europe's success, has been such a strong pillar of the successes in the Western Balkans. It's the country that has, I believe, taken a leadership role in rallying every other member of the European Union towards supporting the enlargement process of the Western Balkans. It was the country that also towards getting denuclearization for the Ukraine Kosovo. So we very much trust in the leadership of Germany, the current leadership, but also any other leadership right I'm a strong believer in the Euro-Atlantic alliance and partnership. I am not concerned, quite the opposite. I think that this is an opportunity to enhance our relations and to have a strong role of the United States on issues that relate to peace, stability, security, and prosperity in the Western Balkans. As I said earlier, Kosovo has been blessed in the bipartisan support of the United States and work closely with every other government, and I very much hope that the government will Thank you very much.
Man könnte immer lernen, das ist eine Nachsache. Ich glaube, das ist das Entscheidende, wenn man sich immer wieder im Austausch, dass es wesentlich sein wird, ist, was jetzt hier bei uns in Österreich ein Fortschritt in den Beziehungsgesprächen, wie man gesagt hat, ist ein steiniger Weg, es ist schwierig. Man muss sich inhaltlich intensiv miteinander auseinandersetzen. Das Ziel ist es tatsächlich, ein neuer Hintergrund für die Menschen in Österreich. Danke.
Yeah, but then they cannot. Yeah.
Just talking a lot with Orban now. Did you talk with him about his proposal to change the strategy of towards Ukraine because it seems that in his view we don't manage to have enough weapons for Ukraine?
Well, we just had 30 seconds to gossip a bit, but not about these subjects. No, let me just say what is on my mind today. First of all, of course, I want to congratulate again President Trump upon his re-election. It was really a huge success for him, including capturing the House and the Senate. I look forward to work with him again. When he was president, he was the one in NATO who stimulated us to move over the 2%. And now, also thanks to him, NATO, if you take out the numbers of the US for a moment, is above the 2%. And I think very much that is his doing, his success, and we need to do more. We know this. Today, very much on my mind in this meeting is what is happening now with North Koreans being deployed in Russia. And what we see more and more is that North Korea, Iran, China, and of course Russia are working together. Against Ukraine,
But at the same time, Russia has to pay for this. And one of the things they are doing is delivering technology to North Korea, which is now threatening in the future the mainland of the US, continental Europe, but also our partners in the Indo-Pacific. Japan, for example, and the Republic of Korea. So these are really dangerous new developments, and we need to discuss that today. But I also look forward to sit down with President Trump and to navigate how collectively we'll make sure that we face this threat and that we keep our part of the world safe.
Trump whisperer, what do you say to those in Europe?
Well, the people of the United States have now elected him. He is the president. I worked very well with him for 4 years. He is extremely clear about what he wants. He understands that you have to deal with each other, to come to joint positions, and I think we can do that. You know, the thing is this: if Russia would be successful in Ukraine, you would have an emboldened Russia at our border, having gained landmass, having gained a huge defense force of Ukraine, but also the ingenuity of the Ukrainian people. So that will be a threat not only to Europe, European part of NATO, but also to the United States. And that's why collectively we have to work not only the threat of Russia, but also the fact that these 4 countries work together, and that now very soon we will see that also the US itself is under threat from these newest technological developments, thanks to Russia giving its latest insights and technology to the North Koreans.
Does the instability in Germany?
I'm sure that when it comes to defense, when it comes to foreign policy, that Germany will be able to conduct its foreign policy, fulfill its obligations in terms of defense, etc. So I'm not worried about that. Olaf Scholz is a strong leader. I know him very well. So I think he will navigate during the coming months, making sure that Germany plays its role at the world stage. Thank you.
General, quickly for Reuters, could you just tell us what your message will be to the leaders today, specifically on the issue you just mentioned about the role of North Korea in this war now? What do you expect from them?
This role of North Korea is basically illustrating how these countries work together. China, North Korea, Russia, and of course Iran. And this is more and more a threat not only to the European part of NATO, but also to the United States, because Russia is delivering the latest technology into North Korea in return for North Korean help with the war against Ukraine. And it is a threat not only to the European part of NATO, but also to the US mainland. And that means that in the Pacific and the Euro-Atlantic, but particularly also within NATO, US, Canada and the European part of NATO, we have to work together. So I look forward to sit down with Donald Trump to discuss how we can face these threats collectively, what we need to do more. And yes, part of this, and here he is absolutely right, will be that on the European side of NATO we will have to spend more, do more to make sure that we reach the capability targets.
Well, you need a new target, 2.5%, 3%. He said 3% of GDP is what NATO members should be spending.
What we're currently doing, it will be much more than a 2%. I'm absolutely clear about that. Then you need to have a debate. Is this an overall target again like the 2? Or do you work from the capability targets for each of the allies, what they need to achieve? And then you might have some different percentages per country. But it is absolutely clear. He is right on this. You will not get there with the 2%. Well, I'm not going now into every policy detail, but thank you so much. See you later.
Well done. Did you have macro? Did you finish those? Yeah, literally in your face. It was in your face.
Great news for us.
Well, let's wait and see. This is democracy. We will look forward to the next few months where we call on political stability, when we call for all actors to act with responsibility as we wait for what is inevitable for a new electoral process in Germany. One thing's for sure, Europe is not strong without a strong Germany, and that is one thing that we will look forward to continuing to see in the next few months. It is very important for us. Thank you very much.
Hallo, letzte Bulletin. Ja, wir sind, welche Sprache mache ich hier? Wir sind in einer historischen Woche, weil wir einerseits Wahlen in Amerika hatten, die natürlich bedingen, dass wir in Europa mit einer klaren Stimme sprechen. Ich stelle aber auch fest, dass es in Europa so manche Instabilität gibt. Aus Luxemburger Sicht stelle ich fest, dass in den 3 Nachbarstaaten Deutschland, Frankreich und Belgien es zurzeit keine Regierung mit einer Mehrheit im Parlament gibt. Und das ist schon eine nicht wünschenswerte Situation. Deshalb hoffe ich, dass wir schnell in all diesen Mitgliedstaaten der Europäischen Union wieder starke Mehrheitsverhältnisse bekommen, damit wir auch mit Stärke als Europäische Union uns vertiefen können, vereinen können und auch gemeinsame Antworten finden auf die großen Fragen dieser Zeit, die wir hier diskutieren werden. Unsere Beziehungen zu Amerika, Ukraine, Balkan, das sind mit der Osten, das sind also große Fragen und da braucht es eine gestärkte europäische Position. Und es ist schwierig zu finden, wenn es so viel Instabilität auch in der Europäischen Union gibt.
Wenn es jetzt um Ukraine-Hilfe geht, was bedeutet diese Instabilität? Wird es damit wahrscheinlicher und einfacher, dass Europa dann stärker in militärischen Sachen kommt?
Wir müssen auf der Seite der Ukraine stehen, weil es geht ja nicht nur um Teile, die besetzt sind von russischen Soldaten, sondern es geht darum, dass wir kämpfen eigentlich für den Respekt der UN-Charta und der Prinzipien der internationalen Rechtsordnung. Und deshalb muss man immer die Ukraine in diesem Kontext sehen. Und ich hoffe und ich wünsche mir, dass auch die neue amerikanische Administration unter Präsident Trump sich bewusst ist, dass es hier eigentlich um die Rechtsstaatsordnung in der Welt geht und dass Waffen nicht Grenzen verschieben können. Darum geht es und da muss Europa auch zu diesen Prinzipien stehen. Wir müssen auch eine Lösung suchen mit der Ukraine und nicht über die Ukraine, ohne die Ukraine reden. Und deshalb begrüße ich es auch, dass wir auch hier die Gespräche mit der Ukraine weiterführen können. Amerika ist und war und bleibt ein wichtiger Partner für die Europäische Union und für Europa. Es gibt in der Welt viele Konflikte und deshalb ist es notwendig, dass Europa mit Amerika eng zusammenarbeitet. Nun ist Präsident Trump bekannt für manchmal eine gewisse Unvorhersehbarkeit, für eine gewisse Sprunghaftigkeit, aber deshalb braucht man Dialog. Und ich glaube, Amerika ist eine Demokratie. Die Demokratie scheint auch funktioniert zu haben. Das war ja eine große Sorge vor den Wahlen, dass das vielleicht nicht so funktionieren könnte. Er hat ein starkes Mandat vom amerikanischen Volk bekommen und wir müssen in einer Demokratie die respektieren, die gewählt worden sind. Das hat ja auch Kamala Harris gestern Abend gesagt. Und wir müssen mit dem Präsidenten arbeiten, der da ist. Und wir werden diesen Dialog suchen müssen. Aber wir dürfen dabei nicht unsere Prinzipien aufgeben. Wir sicherlich ich und einige andere meiner Kollegen, wir stehen für Werte. Und diese Werte sind manchmal anders, aber das ist so in der Demokratie. Und wir werden für unsere Werte, unsere Prinzipien einstehen. Aber wir sind auch für eine starke Partnerschaft mit Amerika in der NATO und auch bei anderen Fragen, wo wir dafür kämpfen werden, dass unsere Werte auch gehört werden. Vielen Dank.
Prime Minister, how concerned are you by the coalition problems in Germany with a minority government opposing the new elections just at a very difficult time for Europe? How worried are you as a neighbour?
I'm not worried because democracies and elections in democracies is something very normal. To some extent, I welcome this clarification that the elections will bring about, because for a few months, if you follow the German news, the German political debate, there was quite a number of discussions, and I think these elections will help to clarify the situation, and therefore I think this is good for Europe, taking into account that in France we have no government with a strong majority in parliament. In Germany we have no majority in parliament. In Belgium there's still a coalition formation, so in our three neighboring countries there's instability, and that is not good. So elections is something positive, and I hope they will happen soon. Thank you.
How exposed is the European Union to Trump and Trump presidency?
America is a very important country from a military point of view, from an economic point of view. So I think we need to work with America, and we need to respect the decision of these elections. So we will stick to our principles, but we want to have a friendly partnership with the United States, and so therefore we will now have to see what exactly President Trump will do once he will become president, whether he will apply everything that he has said during the election campaign, but a lot is still very vague, for instance Ukraine and so on. So let's talk to him, let's listen to him, and then we need to adapt with a strong European collective answer. Thank you.
You know, Europe is strong when Germany is vibrant, and Germany is its economy, its political values, and that's where Norway and Europe wants to see Germany.
Norway, of course, a NATO member like Germany. What does it mean for the alliance while Germany has this constant plea for instability?
Well, I think, you know, democracies go through circles and through different difficult times. That's the nature of NATO. We are 32 democracies. We have elections. We have, you know, realities of political life. And I think, you know, in the main circles of German politics, there's a strong commitment to NATO. I think we are united on the support to Ukraine. And for Norway, you know, we have with the former and present German government really deepened our political relations, our defense cooperation, our cooperation on defense industry. And that's also, of course, combined with a strong energy partnership. Norway is providing 1/3 of Europe's gas, and Germany is very important in that.
You mentioned Ukraine support. What concerns are you about trying to Donald Trump?
Well, that's a dialogue we have to start right away, and we do. I believe that now Ukraine, when there are soldiers from North Korea in Russia on the way to Ukraine, there is Iran involved, China involved. This is dead serious for Ukraine, but it is also a large political issue that the US has to address fully. And I think it's something we have to work with the US to say that this is really affecting our values, and we have to cooperate on it. And that's a critical issue.
You're not in the EU, but obviously in Europe. Can Europe step in if the US steps back when it comes to supporting?
Well, I hold it that, you know, they will not step back, but we have to discuss the strategy. We want to see that the war ends, but it has to end on premises accepted to guarantee a free and democratic Ukraine. I believe, I mean, Europe is the lead donor to Ukraine. In fact, the Nordic countries and the Baltic countries are next after the US in terms of providing, and I think we probably all have to do more.
Does that mean filling the gap potentially the US leaves behind?
I wouldn't put it that way, because I take it that the US will still be engaged, but given the nature of how the war develops, not least also supporting Ukraine in the civil field, you know, with protecting the energy infrastructure, humanitarian aid for health and other things, we also have to step in there.
Prime Minister, what is the united view on Ukraine?
Microphone down. Deutsche Welle.
All the comments after our meeting.
Thank you.
Lehet, mert hogy tényleg így halad. Thank you. Thanks.
Non, parce que je viens demander, parce que Monténégro, oui. Parce que la seule qui ressemble vaguement, je dirais, non? Mais il était seul, il a marché seul. Ils auraient demandé, ils m'ont leur posé une question. C'est pas mal de moi. Ah, c'est Vivienne. Tu as mis? Hein? Tu as mis Vivienne? Comme ça.
Oh non?
Je pense qu'il va faire. C'est marrant parce que là aussi, mais dans la salle, je pense que c'est un rouge. C'est un
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, I'm glad to be here at the EPC. It's a good opportunity to discuss all the issues with the fellow European leaders that we share. Let me take the opportunity to again congratulate Donald J. Trump for his clear victory. I'm looking forward to working with him again to strengthen the transatlantic bond. We will discuss here specifically the topics for the next years ahead of us. We've shown that Europe can take responsibility by standing together. We've shown this in the pandemic. Standing together, we overcame the economic impact of the pandemic. We've shown this in the severe energy crisis that was unleashed by Russia's war in Ukraine. And now it's for us important to pave the way forward. We have 3 points that we will discuss. The first is a joint plan for competitiveness, digitalization and decarbonization. Second is to overcome our overdependencies and to create more level playing field for our economy and our businesses. Both points are basically the Draghi report. And the third element is that we boost our defense capabilities and investments and create more preparedness. This is basically the Niinistö report. So it pays off now that a year ago I have asked both Mario Draghi and Sauli Niinistö to write their reports, and now we are building on this. The future of Europe is in our hands. We have to act now.
Is Europe weakened? What's happening in Germany right now?
So the German context is for Germany to discuss right now. In democracies we have elections and we have building of governments. For the European Union it is important to stay the course that we've engaged on since many years now, and it's a successful course, standing together, overcoming the challenges, and most importantly taking our responsibility in our own hands.
Wie wollen Sie denn reagieren auf die Zöllen, die Donald Trump nach der Wahl setzt? Wie wollen Sie sicherstellen, dass Europa jetzt nicht Hilfe leistet,
Well, one experience over the last years was very clear for the Europeans. If there are challenges ahead of us, no member state on its own is able to manage them. But standing together as 27, as a European Union, gives us a lot of power. And this strength this is what is our best value.
What will you do against Donald Trump's tariffs that you announced?
So we will be working with the new Trump administration in a good manner and look at what is ahead of us. I have some experience to working with President Trump from his former mandate, so there's something to build on. And I think very important is that we analyze together what our shared interests are and work with that.
Can Europe keep supporting Ukraine alone if Donald Trump stops the US?
It is in all our interest that the autocrats of this world get a very clear message that there is not the right of might, but that the rule of law is important. And it's in our common interest that we do not allow the big neighbor to bully the others, but to have fairness and to have the integrity of countries and to defend that. And this is the course we're working on.
Is Europe already retaliating against US?
Do we need Bill the Brit, I guess? Maybe Macron?
It's Macron and Mogherini.
Or Meloni.
Meloni, sorry.
Yeah, Meloni.
Italian woman. Yeah,
Put a comma in the or of course, it's an even bigger amount of hyperlinks going into somebody's pocket.
Yeah, it would be. I was shocked too. They announced it like 3 months ago. What I was expecting.
What are they calling it? Okay.
They give a lot of failures.
Začněme.
Far away.
Daleko.
I want to be very clear on this. Our security is not something we want to outsource to someone else, for example to the United States. Europe should be able to do it on its own, but the security of the United States and the European countries will be better off if we work together. So I hope we can work together, but we're not outsourcing our own security.
But during your time as Prime Minister, what were the obstacles to get to 2%?
Well, you know, if you want to get to 2%, there also needs to be an industrial logic to it. The industrial logic is that you build an industry and that you give that industry the opportunity to participate in that. That takes some time, but I think now we are ready to accelerate our trajectory to 2%.
How can you prevent a trade war in the United States now that Trump is elected? What's your stance on that?
Well, I think a trade war is not good for anyone. And I think in the next 2 months before President Trump takes over, we have time to talk. We have time to explain what our interests are, what the United States' interests are. I think both of us are better off when we're on the same side of the table. I think we need to have an open dialogue on the interests of the United States, on the interests of European countries. And then after an open discussion, everyone can make up their mind.
Is Europe
I think we need to make space for other people.
Well, you know, this is a part of democracy. In democracy, you have sometimes elections and you sometimes have governments that collapse. That's always a difficult moment, that is clear. But, you know, after an end of government, elections might take place and new governments might take place. When you have 27 countries, there is always somewhere in Europe that you have a political transition that is taking place. Now, I've seen that we still have quite some process to go in Germany. Germany, of course, is the economic engine of the European club. But I would not dramatize it. This is part of democracy. In democracy, you have government and you have elections and you have new governments. That does not mean that it stops the European economy or that it stops the influence that Germany has.
But aren't you concerned about the instability in Europe now, since Germany is at crisis and there is Trump elected?
No.
We are late. Pola sata casa da mulher. Три четири администрации koje treba da dođu. Nije grb došao.
Prime Minister, how big a challenge does the re-election of President Trump pose for Europe?
This meeting of the European political community and the European Council here in Budapest is taking place at a time of great geopolitical turmoil. Let me start by congratulating President Trump on his emphatic election and express the hope that the transatlantic relationship will continue to remain strong in order to solve important regional and global problems. But of course, we also need to be quite realistic as Europeans, and we cannot approach this transatlantic partnership from a position of weakness. Europe cannot change the world, but it can certainly change itself to cope with a changing world. Hence a discussion that we will have at the European Council, especially when it comes to the questions of European competitiveness, are discussions which are particularly relevant. And I think it is time to wake up from our geopolitical naivete and to realize that we need to commit additional resources in order to be able to address major challenges, be it issues of competitiveness, European defense. And I do hope that we have reached a point where we will have this discussion with the seriousness and the urgency that these times demand.
It depends. Yeah, but sometimes they are waiting, you know, so if there are not more and more candidates, then they will make them wait, but at least there's no
Da kann ich schon sagen,
Is Europe strong or Germany is weak?
Şu anda tabii bugün bu soruyu sormak bana biraz garip geldi.
The fact that you're asking this question today is a little bit weird, if you
Şu anda
will.
gündemde malum Amerika var.
Currently, right now, the main agenda is the election results in the United States.
What do you make of kosti. Da ima još... Ko je ovo? Šta? To je ovo što ima ovaj. I ona tamo, to isto. Mislim da koštuje recimo 700 €.
Elég sok időt kellett volna szerkeszteni, és az a kettőt is meg lett fényelni, hogy a felvételeket látnom a mobiltelefonon, igen, hogy az képen csak fotót tudsz és ezzel tudtálok meg átvettem így a képet, és átvettem, és majd szerkezik.
I was able to find a solution in your
together with the I agree when President Trump
Prime Minister, very quickly, is Europe weakening what's happening in Germany?
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Good morning, President. Who needs yoga?
Like in Matrix.
Taking the blue pill today. Check, yeah. Good morning, Prime Minister. Just very quickly. Is Europe weakened about what's happening in Germany?
I hope we will have good discussion.
Yes, right now.
Спасибо. Важно, да.
Куда он идет?
Другого ждать.
Пусть договор.
Hello. Sorry. I don't have a time, but can you hold on? Let me give it a minute. I didn't say that.
Ja, das schon. Genau, wenn hast du noch viele, ich komme, wir sind gleich durch. Heute noch mal
Maybe I'll send it to you.
Oh, nicht mehr lange. Alles klar.
Look.
Prime Minister, Mr. President.
Like the brown paper.
And the pressure.
So he doesn't need to do that.
I think it's like.
Yeah.
And I think we met that when we had
Andrew Gray from Reuters.
Oh yeah.
formerly from Reuters also.
You have this patch right there with Bolton's and
Thanks.
I know Valerie quite well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Nice.
Romain?
It's a great job. I think. This country.
Although, to cover things on
Yeah, oh yeah.
You enjoying it? Very much so. Especially that it's a change of pace after Reuters. But also, I mean,
Thank you. See you next time. Tomorrow.
I worked at Reuters for a long time before. This is my second time. My first time I worked a lot of weekends in Portugal and then Belgrade. And then came back. It's also worked at Politico in the meantime as an editor. Politico was more like a newspaper. So working a lot in the evening for the next day's news. Which don't have this one. Put the stuff out during the day. And then you're done. That's it. And the trouble is you've got break. If something happens at 9 o'clock at night, you've got to be there.
I had to cover an Orban Putin back and forth on New Year's Eve at like
Hello.
Može, u koje vreme doći? Važi. Važi, ajde, hvala. Ćao, čao.
Sve.
Stigo stand.
A, za bat?
Da.
Kad, sutra? Odmah?
Da.
Tako i treba, ali ti nisi tu, jebi. Da je tu Lena?
Sad ja njemu treba kažem.
Čekaj.
I još.
Da, ali...
Sjajno.
Ha?
Poredno.
Pa neće sigurno onda UK da dođe. In the United States? No, he was. He was, huh? Just more than 10 years. And before that he was...
Jebote, sad ovdje nema nikog. Kale, da li da pređemo ovdje pored ovog?
Ne vjerujem.
Kako ne mogu pored njega?
Pa gdje ćeš, to ćeš da njega, on će prelazi.
That should be the one.
That's even before I knew you.
It's good.
No, it's one of these like super small size, you know. I don't know why. Every site I have a problem, but this one never. Format, yeah. So it just goes.
I had to like format it. Just
Yeah,
too big.
Yeah, exactly. This one, no problem. It's like
good.
Probably.
That's probably because it was analog.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll leave you guys to start. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Oops.
Prime Minister, good morning. Should you repeat a return of Donald Trump? Should you repeat a return of Donald Trump?
No, I think we need to respect the results of the American elections and establish cooperation with the future administration.
Is European votes happening in Germany?
Well, we'll see. I know that Chancellor is apparently not coming, but Germany is a strong democracy and strong economy. I'm sure they'll sort it all out. Thank you. Danas su glavne teme europske političke suradnje, prije svega kako učiniti Europu snažnom u gospodarskom smislu, dotaknuti pitanja migracija, transatlantske odnose, agresiju Rusije na Ukrajinu i naravno stabilnost na Bliskom istoku i migracije.
Zbog Trumpa?
Ne, pa gledajte, treba poštovati rezultate američkih izbora, to je ono što je najvažnije i mislim da smo to već praktički, kako sam vidio, svi kao lideri u nacionalnom svojstvu već i učinili. Hvala.
Nije.
Yes, Lithuania is among the countries which is most committed to increase the defense spending, and we are here trying to increase this rate. So I hope that we will be able to achieve the level of 3.5% and in not so distant future 4% of our GDP. And for us this is important. No matter is it requirement from outside, this is our internal commitment to do what we can in order to just take care of our security.
Do you think with elections in the US, Mr. Putin able to make intervention to Baltic states?
No, I don't think so, because we are in the NATO, and you remember that President Donald Trump was a president in 2019, 2020. And I think at that time some decisions were taken which made the NATO even stronger, especially the commitment to increase the defense spending. Today we have more than 20 countries which are already in 2% club. I remember the launch with President Trump in 2019 in London. He invited to participate 2%ers club members in the lunch. And I remember that we have 6 or 7 persons. Now we have more than 20, and we are approaching the level of 3 and even 4%.
Support for Ukraine.
Support to Ukraine, of course, we have to look, and I look forward to what will happen in the next future, but I hope very much that there will be common and very constructive language between the President Zelensky and President Trump, and I hope that Ukraine deserves our support, no matter are we United States or Europe, because they were brutally attacked by the aggressor country. And this is not only about Ukraine, this is about rules-based international order, and we have to preserve it.
Are you planning to go to Baku for COP29, and what do you think about climate change issues?
Yes, those are very important, but you know, we left behind our parliamentary elections, and now we are in the process of forming the ruling coalition in my country. So this is the reason why this time I will be not able to attend this conference, but the climate change is very important.
Thank you.
We are late.
Ali they start. Look at, there is a light. Počeli.
Počelo, da.
Всеки път е тест. Eita. Pitaj. Znam, pa ali svi kasne. Imate to uživo, imate.
Olyan vezetők ülnek az asztal körül, akiket a földrajzi közelség mellett a közös érdekek és az Európáért érzett közös felelősség is egybefon. Ennek a közös felelősségünknek a tudatában kívánok hasznos tanácskozást mára mindannyiuknak. És most a plenáris ülés folytatásaként bevett szokásaink szerint felkérem Volodymyr Zelenszky elnök urat, Ukrajna elnökét, hogy tartsa meg a beszédét. Elnök úr, önt illeti a szó.
yours. You okay? No. A der ci to post.
Prime Minister Prime Minister, what are you expecting from today's meeting? What are you hoping for?